Well, I think it's very candid. Don't you always hold your stomach in when you...
He does. He's sucking it in there a little bit.
Well, of course he is. And wouldn't you if somebody was taking your picture? Of course you
Nick
would.
Clooney is a Hollywood scholar of sorts, George Clooney's dad and Rosemary Clooney's little brother. 40 years ago, reporters didn't ask him intimate questions about his sister.
Nobody wanted to know the dirt. They wanted to know, where'd she go to school? When did she start singing? Who were her friends? What kinds of things did she sing? You know, who were her favorite stars?
But in the late 50s, attitudes towards celebrities were shifting. And here's one thing that helped shift them, the famous movie La Dolce Vita. That's where the word paparazzo was first used. It's Italian slang for buzzing insect. Felice Quinto, the real photographer these characters were based on, wanted real photos of the film's star, Anita Ekberg, and the photos he got changed the industry. One night, Quinto and his partner say they saw Anita Ekberg kissing a married man.
They're kissing?
And I can do not...
Now, wait, I'm sure I understand. The news value of this is Anita Ekberg, who's supposed to be in love with Mr. X, is kissing Mr. Y.
Correct. We just slam it. My God.
You just what?
Slam it with the camera. We flash it.
Furious at the photo ambush, Ekberg got a bow and arrow, a real bow and arrow, and really shot an arrow at Quinto.
Now, this is the picture here? This is Anita Ekberg?
This is how she appears. I don't even have the time to take the picture, and she hits me here.
She hits you with an arrow?
Yeah, right here.
So
you
she
see
was...
the cut?
Vaguely, I do.
Well, it's, forget, 4 years ago. In any case.
Wait a second. No, so she shoots
just
you.
let it go, and goodbye, Charlie. And so from one word to another, she just grabbed me by my coat. Wow, with the right knee, get me where the sun doesn't shine.
But it turns out it was worth it. Quinto's partner sold these shots for what was then a year's salary, $4,000, and they got published. Editors saw that the public was interested. Everybody liked the studio shots of Liz Taylor, but Liz Taylor on a raft with her lover, Richard Burton, wow, that sold papers. The paparazzi pushed the envelope farther, and editors printed them. People bought them. And the line of what was decent to print moved farther and farther. The public discovered, hey, Liz Taylor is just as fallible and human as I am, and editors discovered privacy is a pretty flexible issue. The stars learned they had to be on their guard, and they learned to use the paparazzi. They developed a sort of unwritten contract with photographers, a way to guarantee them great publicity photos. Here are the rules. The stars show up at premieres and parties dressed up, and they stop to be photographed. They stop repeatedly, and they're photographed repeatedly. And they have publicists who will get them to stop. Example, Jack Nicholson there by the door tries to sneak into his own premiere for Mars Attacks. He gets hauled out by his publicist to walk the line of paparazzi. If you don't stop, that's Matt LeBlanc walking right past, you get boos and catcalls. That's enough to bring Carly Simon back out to get snapped. Even worse than boos is boycott.
Imagine 25 photographers as a group. Sharon Stone walks in the room, and not one photographer picks up a camera and takes a picture as a group. That bugged the hell out of her. Her publicist walked up to me and said, "You guys have a problem with Sharon?" Saying, "Look, we call her name out, and she just acts like she can't be bothered, so we can't be bothered."
Now Sharon Stone stops graciously for the press. But these photo opportunities have become a paparazzi nightmare as every photographer who thinks this is easy money joins the game. When 75 paparazzi have the same photos of the same stars smiling the same smile, prices plunge. But an exclusive, rare picture, that's where the money is. For instance, Alec Baldwin alone, $100. All four Baldwin brothers together, which almost never happens, $10,000. Brooke Shields alone, $100. The first photos of Brooke and Andre Agassi, $100,000. Paparazzi charge what the market will bear.
Pictures 50,000 is now 100,000. It's doubled in 2 years. And it's because the so-called conventional press has come parading into our territory. Go back through the last 10, 12 weeks of Newsweek covers. You've got Carolyn Bessette on the cover, you've got Tom Cruise on the cover, you've got Melissa Etheridge and her gay lover and the fact that they're pregnant on the cover. Traditional hard news magazines are putting celebrities on their cover because it sells.
So the paparazzi go after that exclusive photo and they worry about privacy rights on their way to the bank. Some targets are just too tempting, too lucrative to ignore. When we return, Michael Jackson's brand new baby. What would you do for more than $500,000?
Here's somebody. Here comes somebody.
Tonight's Turning Point will continue in a moment. Shooting Star. Paparazzi. Shooting Stars. Tonight's Turning Point continues. Once again, Forrest Sawyer.
You may have wondered how the paparazzi managed to catch the stars off guard. It's not easy, and successful photographers have their own unique methods, as correspondent Robert Krowich found out.
Nobody invited Victor Melafronte to a private party at this New York hotel, but he's going anyway.
I knew exactly where I was going. That was the Waldorf Astoria, and I had done hundreds of celebrity parties or events at the Waldorf, and I know the ins and outs, the back stairwells, the kitchens, and I
Why
knew...
doesn't like a chef or something, like people are looking at you like you belong there?
What is a chef going to do when they see a photographer walking through? I mean, they just assume, you know, they're supposed to be there. I mean, we don't stop for questions. If someone says, hey, stop, you don't stop, you just keep going.
His methods, invasive, tenacious, will get him, he thinks, better pictures, rarer pictures, pictures that will make him more money. And if he has to lie a little, he lies.
So I went right up to De Niro's table, and I said to him, Mr. De Niro, how are you? I'm the official photographer tonight. Could we get a few photos of you and Sean Penn?
He got De Niro's then-girlfriend, Toukie Smith, saying hi to Sean, and here is how it came out.
De Niro fighting mad after buddy Sean Penn makes a play for his gal pal Toukie.
Any of it true?
Absolutely not.
And when
De
you
Niro,
read a story like this, what do you think?
I think it's hilarious. I was laughing. I thought it was.
And Sean, you suppose he was giggling loudly? And Robert?
Well, I think that those type of people can see that it's just a farce.
Victor knows they can say provocative things about De Niro and Lauren Bacall and Mary Tyler Moore. Celebrities are public figures, and the law says a free press may be annoying and irresponsible, but that's a price we pay. Some of us more than others. But when there are so few rules, Victor can make up his own, and that, he says, is intoxicating.
Go, go, go. All right, go back.
What was your first, like, really good picture that you got in your life?
In my life, there was a set of photos that I did of a man who had just been told that his mother and father were murdered in a house. What really shocked me was then he turned and saw me, and I have shots of him pointing at me, screaming at me, you know, don't take pictures, don't take pictures. And it was awful. It was awful.
Awful plus something good.
Well, there's something, well, you're kind of in their kind of space and taking that moment, which is an awful moment, but it gets you excited and it becomes like an obsession.